Hey, Crystal Maiden here, and welcome to the extra part, or the first one anyway, of Sonic CD. This is Time Attack. It looks completely different in the Gems Collection version of this game. I think it looks better here, to be honest. I don't think you can get robot generators in the Time Attack mode. Oh yeah, and the reason it was running so slow there was because I chose to record at 30 frames per second. I was testing out with Fraps, and yeah, Frap sucks. Yeah, this is what happens if you wait around for too long with Sonic. He actually says, "I'm out of here," and then he jumps off the screen and you get a game over. That's why you pause your game, folks. Thankfully, not that many Sonic games do that. And this is the Metal Sonic mod, where you can play as Metal Sonic. And since it's a mod, obviously this isn't intended for the actual game. I don't think they ever made any ROM hacks for this game. Mainly because it was on a Sega CD, which is kind of hard to make ROM hacks for, I guess. But yeah, he has new animations and everything. Although he plays exactly like Sonic, so the only reason you should play as him is because you think Metal Sonic's cooler than Sonic, which I do, for the record. Even though I like Sonic's personality a lot better because, you know, he's carefree and he's got a really nice and understanding and good people skill side to him. And he's also got this adventurous thrill-seeker personality to him that makes him feel really... He gives energy to the audience. He gives energy to the audience. So that's his whole purpose as a character, is to make the audience excited to play the games. And so I love when Sonic's portrayed as an adventurous thrill seeker who loves adventure. And why it sucks that Sonic Boom and Sonic Colors make him just bored and frustrated and wanting to retire already. But I still think Metal Sonic is really cool. So I prefer to play as him over Sonic whenever I have the opportunity. They even call him by his nickname, Metal. In the Sonic OVA, which was an animated adaptation movie of this game, they actually called him Metal instead of Metal Sonic. And the OVA was kind of weird because it had different voice actors than the classic era would normally have. So Sonic has this really nasally weird voice. Although it's still better than the voice he has now. Ugh. Like, I don't like Jaleel White as a voice for Sonic because he sounds too much like the stereotypical kid, and he sounds like a bratty kid trying too hard to be cool. And I think Roger Craig Smith has the opposite end of the problem because he doesn't, just like Jaleel White, he sounds nothing like you'd expect Sonic to sound. He doesn't sound like adventurous, carefree, thrill seeker who is a hero. He just sounds like Roger Craig Smith just sounds like the stereotypical surfer dude bro, teenager who surfs on waves. He sounds like an adult, and Sonic's supposed to be sounding a lot younger than that. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I got into the series with Adventure 2, and I don't really like that game all that much anymore, but my point is, Brian Drummond will always be the voice of Sonic to me. Although I've warmed up to Jason Griffiths, but that's mainly because he basically sounds like an older version of Brian Drummond's voice for him. And Jason Griffith's Sonic games take place afterwards, so it makes sense for him to sound older. But yeah, this is Tails. And as you can see, Tails completely breaks the game because he can fly. And like I said, the level design of Sonic CD is so vertical because it's so focused on exploring through levels looking for robot generators. So it's a lot easier to find robot generators than playing as Tails. So it's awesome that you can play as him. Like, it's the perfect solution for people who have trouble finding the robot generators. Although I didn't bother finding them even with Tails. I just don't care. I mean, I still have to look up a guide, so fuck it. I love his sprites. I mean, he looks so cute when he's pushing against stuff, and I just love Tails. He's so cute and so talented and sweet. Can't believe he screwed up his character in later games. That pisses me off. But yeah, I think Tails is my favorite character to play as in Sonic CD. I mean, he just breaks his game in half. Although usually, I don't think I would want to play as Tails in Sonic 1 because I love the platforming of that game so much that I feel like I would really miss out. The reason I love playing as Tails in Sonic 3 Knuckles is because he can skip past the parts of the level that I hate. Like the spinning tops of Marble Garden Zone. I mean, I love them when you're going on the ground, but when you're going through the air, you're really slow. So I don't think, well, Sonic CD isn't really about satisfying platforming. It has that, but it's mostly about fast and fun areas because of all the springs. And oh my god, he looks so cute when he looks behind him. I mean, I don't even find things cute very easily. I look at a Chow and I'm like, why should I find that cute? Maybe because it looks too different from animals in real life? But I just love Tails. Such a great character. It makes sense that he's the third most popular character in the franchise. Which is ironic because usually when they introduce a new character, fans whine and bitch. Although he was introduced really early in the franchise before people started complaining about new characters, so I guess he kind of escaped that. The special stages, you can't jump when you can't fly as Tails in the special stages. I don't know why. It's so stupid. I mean, I think the whole point of him being introduced as an unlockable character that you can't play until you beat the game is that he breaks the game because he makes it so much easier to find the robot generators. So it makes sense. It makes sense that he's an unlockable character. So why can't he break the special stages too? Why can't he just... When you hit a fan in special stage and you start flying around, it's easier to... Where's Amy? Yeah, when you're playing through Tails' story, Amy never shows up. Isn't it awesome how much he breaks this boss? I mean, this is my least favorite boss in the game, and Tails completely destroys it in 30 seconds. You don't have to put up with the pinball at all. And Tails can also swim, which is pretty cute looking, like he dog paddles. He looks really weird when he falls down, though. Although I don't understand why he doesn't just have the same animation. I mean, flying is basically moving upward through the air. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be in the air to fly. I don't know why he can't just have his flying animation when he's underwater. It would seem to make more sense if he was swimming by flying normally, but underwater. I don't know. But yeah, the bumpers send you really high up. I think because I had more experience with the special stages by this point, I got more of the time stones as Tails. But I still didn't get all of them. There's this one special stage that is really weird looking because it has a psychedelic sky that has constant waving colors like you're in an acid trip. And I think people could get seizures from seeing that, honestly. I don't know why they didn't change that for PC Remake. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to show it off. I think it's the one in Wacky Workbench, and good luck getting a time stone in that level. Time stones sort of looked like the way the Chaos Emeralds looked in the original Sonic 1. Like now, the Chaos Emeralds look like diamonds in shape. But in Sonic 1, they look more like the time stones do now. I mentioned before that the PC remake of Sonic CD was created by a guy named Taxman. Taxman is an independent game developer who is a huge Sonic fan all by himself, which is awesome because a lot of people who make video games aren't really fans of games themselves. So it's incredibly, I can't stress enough how awesome it is that Sonic Team decided to hire someone who's a fan of the games, who would be a lot more likely to know what he's talking about when he thinks about what makes a Sonic game good. It's great that they hired a professional Sonic ROM hacker in order to make their games, because Sonic Mania, which is a new Sonic game that is basically in the classic Sonic style and has its physics and everything. Yeah, he looks so sad when he's trapped in ice. I'm also using I'm using Tails' story opportunity to show off time periods that I haven't yet. Anyways, Taxman created the Retro Sonic physics engine for fan games. He made a fan game called Retro Sonic. I'm not really familiar with that, but apparently the Retro Sonic engine, it can sort of update games because it allows for stuff like HD quality, 60 frames per second, and online, stuff like that, even if it's a 16-bit game. And it's because of his engine that we were able to get the PC remake of this game in the first place and have it be so good. And it's fantastic that Sega actually hired a guy who is a big fan of Sonic games himself, who has played a whole bunch of them, who would have a very good understanding of what makes a Sonic game good and what's bad about them. Because I think part of the reason there's so many problems with Sonic games is because people who make Sonic games don't play them. Either because they don't have the time or because they're adults and they think they're too good for playing video games. So it's great that Sonic Mania, which is coming out in 2017 as a late anniversary title. It's fantastic that Taxman is in charge of making Sonic Mania because it really feels like it's in good hands. I'm not really down with the whole jump dash mechanic. I mean, it looks cool, but it seems difficult to work with. I don't know. Maybe when I actually play the game, I'll know what to do. Tails flies so slowly. I mean, he has such slow forward momentum when he flies that it doesn't seem like he can break this race, because it is a race after all. You're trying to get to the end quickly. So it doesn't seem like you'll be able to win easily, but Metal Sonic constantly gets tired in the race. I don't think he would have gotten tired so quickly if he didn't insist on boosting all the time. The boost attack is called the V Maximum Overdrive attack. I'm not really sure. I think V stands for velocity, that's all I can think of. If Metal Sonic gets here before you, then you get killed by the Insta-Kill laser. Although you don't get killed by running into the wall, which is how he got killed. Yeah, and Tails doesn't save Amy at the end. I mean, I guess they're trying to keep it consistent character-wise, like Amy isn't in love with Tails, and it would really take you out of it if you saw Amy fawning over Tails when you're playing a Tails story. Like, it would feel like Tails was more of a lazy add-on, rather than being something that they really were passionate about. But I don't know, I still think it would have been funny if Amy's fawning over Tails. I mean, they're closer in age, so... Yeah, this is the pass of Metallic Madness Act 1, which I think is much better to play in than Act 2. And I love the way it looks. Like, there's so many levels in this game that I just love the aesthetic of. And the pass theme is pretty awesome too. Like I said, it's so fast-paced and frantic. I mean, I just love the pass theme of this level. I mean, most of the pass themes in this game are 4-beat. The American soundtrack for this game I don't entirely like. Again, I feel like it's trying too hard to be cool. But when I like an American song for this game, it's the Bad Future song. Because I love Quartz Quadrant, for example. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but Stardust Speedway Good Future, it took me a little while to warm up to it, but now it's one of my favorite themes in the game. I love how upbeat it is, and how it still feels suited to a race against an evil robot version of Sonic. And it's awesome. I'll be showing off all of the songs and soundtrack that I haven't shown off yet in an extra video. Which means that the next extra video is going to be pretty long, like over half hour, because there was a lot of stuff that I hadn't shown off yet. Yeah, if you stand on those things, they launch you. How are you supposed to know that? They don't have springs on them or anything. And I think it's required to stand on those launchers in order to get past Metallic Madness past Act 2. Yeah, you can totally skip that annoying gimmick by just flying as Tails. Again, Tails breaks the game. I love it. And if you thought Tails was cute before, wait until you see his mini form. Although his walking animation is kind of weird. His walking animation is kind of weird when he's... I mean, look, he moves... He teeters back from side to side. It's like he has a haters gonna hate kind of walk. But it's not nearly as goofy looking as his walking animation Tails Adventure. Something I haven't mentioned yet is that in the American manual for this game, Amy was mistakenly referred to as Princess Sally. And Sally was basically one of the... She was a female character introduced for the Sad AM cartoon. And I think she was in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog as well. I'm not really sure though. Yeah, you see a different looking credits sequence when you beat the game as Tails. I'll be talking about Sally later. I'll have plenty of time to talk about my opinions of the Archie comics in a later video. Right now, there's just so much for me to talk about with this game. I wasn't able to mention all of the trivia that I had planned. You know, like how there were planned extra levels for this game, and an extra level and boss called Final Fever that you would only be able to access if you got all the time stones, which I'm really glad they scrapped because you know, I don't get all the time stones when I play this game, so it'd feel like a big screw you to anyone who doesn't get all the time stones playing this game. So I'm glad they removed that. In the next video, I'll be showing off all of the songs through this game that I didn't show off. I'll also be talking at the beginning a little bit, but for the most part it's just going to be the songs. So I'll see you then for the longest video I've uploaded yet.